This is Adventure on Purpose, the podcast where we relate adventure to real life and real life to adventure. I am one of the hosts, Danny, the adventurous goal crusher. Also on the mic is Mike, the burly bow hunter, Kel, the happy camper, and Lee, the crusty craftsman. Tune in to help us remember our why, and maybe you will rekindle yours.
You're professional.
Welcome to the Adventure on Purpose.
Welcome, everyone.
This is the intro.
Welcome, everyone, to the Adventure on Purpose podcast.
Studio.
The studio production.
We are in this tiny room.
Superior, Wisconsin. Coming to you all the way up north.
Yes. What did it take? 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
Guys,
Drove all the way up from Alexandria.
Yeah.
Just to see their fellow AO peers.
Mill dog.
Yes. We got the whole crew together.
So last night we had a nice fire on the beach.
Yeah,
It was so
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Nice,
Windy.
but windy.
We all
Very
have color
windy.
in our face now.
Yeah. We were all crying
Yeah.
until like midnight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not because we were sad, because we had smoke in our eyes.
Smoke
But who's the one
inhalation.
that lost the little Weiner in the fire?
Yeah. That was me.
It's all
I lost
fun
my
and
wiener, guys.
Good thing we already had a kid.
Yeah, so we were out on Lake Superior, on the shores of Lake Superior, Wisconsin side, and we had a fire. We had a fire, and it was very windy.
We
And
second guessed it for a second.
yeah, we did second guess it, but then we were like,
said, "Come on, adventure on purpose."
yeah, what would our adventure self say if we were talking on a podcast? We would absolutely say, yeah, do it.
Definitely do it.
So
And
we
Improvise.
improvised. Yes, we improvised. So there were driftwood logs all over the place. We ended up making a big old wall, which it blocked the wind, but
Made the fire.
made the smoke like swirl up towards our wall.
yeah, it was also a fluid mechanics lab as well.
Yeah.
We created a back current on something there.
Yeah, exactly. So we were at the same time trying to stoke our wieners here in the fire. At the same time trying to cook these wieners and just getting smoke to the eyes nonstop.
Bawling.
Yeah, bawling.
Just
And
absolutely.
now it's a story to tell.
Yeah, we made the best of it.
We did make the best of it.
And then we drove through Bentleyville, because now this year it's drive-through. What was that little guy's name?
Twinkle.
Twinkle.
So
Little
you were
elf on the shelf.
Yeah, you
kinda
were
guy.
supposed to find 10 twinkles, and we only found 8.
Yeah.
We get so competitive.
We're gonna go back.
We might have to go back. I mean, we did have to we merged into 2 lanes at one point.
Oh.
I wonder if there's
On the other side.
2 on there
Right.
that
Said
they can
that
see.
during-
We got a kid that's under 10 years of age, so they get a knit hat.
This time we can say no. Or we could say
Oh, we could say, we'll get another one?
yeah.
Ah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, so we got 8 out of the 10 Mr. Twinkles of the elf on the shelf. And that's not my, I mean, when I do a scavenger hunt, I'm like, let's get this done.
Let's
I want to
do
get
it.
all of them.
Let's do it.
But that was,
But it was an abrupt ending. You didn't even know, like, all of a sudden you were just at the end.
yeah, just, all right, here you go. Turn your lights back on and go.
See you later.
It wasn't a Minnesota goodbye. We'll say that.
Yeah. And you know what? You know, they say the Grinch is kind of a mean person, but he is not
He was so
a
nice.
Yeah.
mean person.
He let us know that the tire was flat in the truck.
It's got something to say.
We got a guest.
We got a guest speaker here. She's only going to do that more and more. I bet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speak
She
up.
just wants to be part of our
Speak
crew.
up.
So anyways, we were back at the house last night and we all thought of a topic we wanted to talk about on the podcast.
After we were inspired by adventure.
Yeah.
Clear-headedness.
We decided to use Lee's, and Lee, what did you say?
Fire.
Light your fire.
That's all I could think about was fire after the night's events. So my thought was that how you approach lighting a fire can kind of say something about how you approach a lot of things, how you approach business, how you approach a big task that you have, or whatever it may be. It can kind of show you, if you look at it, it can kind of show you how you attack certain things. So I just thought that would be cool to think about the different ways that you can build a fire and go from there.
Sweet. I like it.
Do you want to talk about your strategy first?
I did a TP. I was a TP strategy.
Went straight to
Always,
the TP.
you're always TP.
Yeah.
See, I start with a TP, but it never ends with a TP.
Oh,
It
what's-
always transforms to a
Why?
cabin.
A cabin.
Yeah, because I'm like busy trying to get more sticks, and then one falls, and then
You're
I'm like,
oh,
I'm not
TP
gonna
down.
try to bother making another TP.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add it in however it fits.
Yeah.
Do you like to use a newspaper or something, or do you like to not use anything first?
Newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have some sort
Well,
of
you
starter.
sometimes prefer to use nature.
Okay, so I'll use birch as like a birch bark is like
That's your
perfect starter.
natural
Paper.
paper.
Yeah, but like we're thinking about the different ways you can start a fire. Like some people might just throw sticks on there and just try to light it, and that's usually not the best option. You're just kind of hoping for something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have some sort of structure. Like you don't have to, but
It's best.
it's nice to have some sort of structure before you start the fire, and I think that's pretty good way to look at
Then
a
the
lot of the
rest of
things
your
you
time
attack.
is more enjoyable because
Yeah.
you put in that upfront work.
Yes, there you go. Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking I like to use newspaper or like little kindling, and how that translates to my life is I also like to talk to people before I start my idea. So like
Mhm.
maybe that newspaper is kind of like me
Mm.
using other things or other
Resources.
people to see if it's a good
To build
option
on
for
it.
me.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Nice.
Because I always use when I have we start fires at nature camp all the time, but I try to have them started without the newspaper, but I always have it and say we can use this if we need it later.
If we
And
can
And
get
most
going.
kids are like, yeah, let's do that. They don't even want it, but then all of a sudden they're like, all right, can we use that?
Use a little bit. Can we use
So,
a little bit?
Yeah. I always bring the newspaper with or cardboard or something.
That is a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
You get your research, from different people. If it's different people that have done the same thing
Mhm.
before, and you can kind of have a one-up on whatever it is you're attacking.
Yeah.
My favorite part is the scrounging in the woods, rummaging.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you find a gold piece and you're like, yes, and bring that back.
Yeah.
So I feel like that means that I like to do the research and
Nice.
the like beforehand heavy lifting best.
Before you even
More
start.
than the result.
Interesting.
Like for our children's book that we just did, I kind of did like the heavy the process more than the release.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Dun dun
Trailers.
dun.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. So whenever we release this, it might be like a month or so before you guys hear this, but we released our first children's book. Me and Kel wrote it. I illustrated it. When was it? November 16th
Yeah.
or something like that. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out,
Yeah.
little plug.
Little plug. I gotta remember that because we video and record audio, so I gotta remember like for the podcast we are actually not showing stuff.
Yeah.
So everybody, I just showed the book. But
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna have to buy it.
You're gonna have to find out.
How do you start your fires?
Well, I was just thinking about what Kel said about rummaging and finding that little golden piece is so rewarding. But sometimes, this is what I learned from yesterday, sometimes you have to hand off that golden piece.
Oh,
Yeah.
How do you mean?
Well, I had a little rummager with me,
I knew you.
Abby.
Yeah.
And we were both rummaging around in the woods, and I was giving her little pieces of sticks to bring
Abby's
back.
the dog.
Abby is the dog. And
What a guy.
the small ones weren't it, until I found a good piece, and then
She was
Abby
happy.
lit up, ran back to the fire with this big old stick. I was so happy.
And we commented on that stick. Who was it? Someone was like, "Oh, Abby's helping out," and we all thought she found it, or I did.
Ah.
But you gave it to
That
I
her.
gave it to her.
I thought so too.
So that's kind of funny. Like you don't actually know who's helped who. Get to where they've actually been. Huh. Funny.
There you go.
So help people along the way.
Help
Yeah.
people back. So there's so many people that are willing to help, but you gotta remember to help others too.
Love it.
Wow.
But I am a rummager too. I love
It's
gathering
fun.
everything first.
Then you look at your pile that
Yeah.
you just got. Let's do it.
You got all the different assortments and goodies.
Should we start
Yeah.
with? What's gonna be that TV?
But there is something about like starting a fire for me is like it's that challenge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm always starting fires. And then
Well, you saw me.
Yeah. You were the
like
guy.
I was like, ooh. that was all that was important in the
Yeah.
world. Let's get this.
yeah. And I think like yesterday, like we hesitated at first to go have a fire on the beach because it was windy.
Yeah.
But then we just like, I mean, it is talking to people that say, just go do it, go try
Yeah.
it, and
And
you
that's
go figure something out.
yeah, that's the thing. You hesitate, but then as soon as you decide, it's like the wheels turn and you just get
And
rolling.
then you build a wall on a beach.
Yeah.
Block the wind.
This wall was 4 feet,
Yeah.
4 feet tall, probably.
And you sat down in the sand.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
it's
Isn't it
nice.
funny that when you're adventuring and like elements come into play, that you just like go and everyone automatically gets on the same page?
Yeah.
We
Like,
didn't
you
even
don't even have to
communicate.
talk about like
Mhm.
it happens in like mountains and stuff too. Like you just like dial in. All right, they're doing that. That means we're doing this. All right.
Yeah, because everyone knows what thing can
Help.
be done to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all these things that can be.
And you're not having to say grab 7 of these size sticks.
Yeah.
And those size sticks.
Oh, that's
Don't have
so
to focus
true.
on
Ever have to think of that.
Yeah, like this is great for people actually. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be pretty.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. If you are one of those people that does struggle with making it perfect, these perfect things,
That's me. That's me.
sometimes just like
just
Yeah.
go.
just
Mhm.
get the ball rolling, and then perfection can come with
Comes along the way.
yeah.
Start rummaging.
Yeah.
Start rummaging. Yeah.
Huh.
I like that.
Do you like to build a little fire or big fire?
Mhm.
Do you like to add them up?
It
I feel like that's a
depends.
personality
Yeah,
thing.
that is.
Uh,
Are you're definitely a little one.
Yeah,
Because
I
you're
don't-
not an out there person. I feel like
Yeah.
the big ones are like the people that are like, oh, look at my fire.
no, I think it's like a nice size. It wouldn't be like little
Too
or
small.
yeah.
Not too big.
Yeah,
I
just
like
right
that.
in the
I feel
middle.
like that's kind of because you got a lot of little things going in life.
Yes.
So maybe that's kind of how yours wraps around in your fire.
How I
Yes.
approach that is that I am thinking about like, how long are we going to be here? And so the
Oh.
fire doesn't necessarily have to be big, but I'm
Practical.
thinking of like, okay, how how much like fuel are we gonna need
Yeah.
after we get
Yes.
this going? And
Yeah.
then that's where I'm like,
Does it
always going to
stress
get
you
more.
out if you have that in mind and then you don't have enough? Like you think you don't have enough?
it
Gotta
is
go
a
get
little
some.
stressful.
You noticed it last night. You noticed that the fire was eating up all the twigs for the stick, and he pieced out. I'm going to get more. Like, there was no discussion.
I don't
He
care
just
what you
went. But you also have to think about where to cook too. Like that's part of my fire as well. Like you got to have like a decent size to be able to cook as well. But
Yeah.
that doesn't like size doesn't necessarily matter for that as long as it's like one concentrated spot.
Especially when you drop your wiener in their
Yeah.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah.
All fun and games.
It's
So
so
someone
good.
drops their wiener.
It's so good.
They put all sorts of stuff in those wieners anyways. So it's like
Yeah, you can still eat it.
yeah.
It's so good.
Ish.
Did we leave it in there?
Yeah, we left it in there.
Yeah,
Somebody's gonna eat it.
oh, a seagull or something had a good,
Yeah,
good
a
meal.
little snack. A little muskrat or something came along.
Yeah.
Do you chop your wood before you put it in there, or do you put a big stick and then
And
it
keep
burns?
yes.
Oh.
The whole slide-in trick.
That's what I like to do.
I love that.
I like to
don't
cut it
like
up.
doing it until I absolutely have to.
Yeah. So if it's too big for whatever, if you have a saw or an axe or whatever, if it's too big to like cut through, then heck yeah, I'll do that. But if they're small enough to just break up with axe or saw,
Yeah.
I'll do that quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's nice to have
I'm
chunks
only
together.
about the hand breaking. If I
Yeah.
can't break it with my girl hands,
Oh, okay.
we're sliding her in.
With your girl.
So if it's just the girls out there,
So how do you
Just
attack
breaking.
projects? Like if it's this huge project you want to do, do you like set?
Start with the littlest.
Yeah, so maybe.
Smallest
so
thing.
do you divide it
Divided
into
in.
categories?
Maybe. I don't know. That's a good thought actually. Like sometimes I will go towards the hardest thing first and try to figure that out. But sometimes I'll go towards like the easiest part and get something rolling,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of work on those harder things as you get that momentum going.
Mm-hmm.
So
I am like a bucketer because I see
Finish a bucket.
Yeah, it's like you're just like you break it out into buckets.
Ah,
So you already know kind of the buckets to do,
I like that.
which is somewhat of my struggle though too, because I'm thinking big picture always, and so that's really hard for me to like go focus on one little bucket.
gotcha.
How do you do it? Like, how do you keep yourself
Yeah.
in a bucket?
They're like categories for.
I guess it depends. It's like a fire, you have like your small little pieces,
The kindling.
the kindling, and your starter stuff, and then you have like your sustainable wood. But in between there, you might have some like intermediate twigs and sticks and logs, and like like you kind of have like that buildup.
Those go in a separate
Yeah.
bucket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like maybe it could be like 3 buckets, or it could be that middle bucket could be like 5 or 6 buckets,
Okay.
depending on like what scale it is. But
Huh.
that's where I'm always thinking very big, like the end fire.
Yep.
And so
Well, that's what's the fuel though too.
Mhm.
Yeah, your goal. That's your goal. So it's like fuel for those accomplishing each one of those buckets.
yeah.
So I like that. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like though you're just like stuck in the kindling? Like, gosh. All things.
All the time.
Come on.
Actually, I think I've got this next bucket of bigger twigs, but it's not.
Yeah, you just find out that it's more kindling.
Overleg and
So then for you, Dan, what do you think?
I really like to play with the fire. Like, I'm always with the
You like to have
stick.
fun with the Junie.
Yes.
Man. Like, if you're
That's
not having
good.
fun,
Like,
why?
I'm almost annoying at a fire, like picking up the ashes. And,
Oh, I love the poker.
yes. So, but I feel like that is kind of like rejuvenating the fire. I feel like I have to take a lot of days to like, just for me.
To rejuvenate your energy.
Yeah, so I feel like that's maybe why I do that, because I like to rejuvenate in life and it rejuvenate the fire.
Well,
I just made that up, but that's
And
nice.
I love it. And also, at like a group thing, you bring some good energy to the crew.
Yeah.
So you rejuvenate the party.
See, I'm focused on all the buckets I'm gonna fill up.
And I'm like, I gotta take a break. I gotta rejuvenate.
Which helps in the long run, though.
Yeah, it does.
Because you're flipping all those chunks. You see those chunks that are like burnt halfway, and you gotta flip the rest of that
Then
one.
it does help.
Yeah.
And it gives you that little like, ooh,
Yeah.
that excitement.
Yeah.
You see what was under there?
I also like to throw stuff like so I can watch it burn.
Yes.
Like maybe it's a marshmallow or even like a carrot or like something weird.
See how it'll
Spice it
burn.
up a little bit. Just throw this in there.
See what happens.
Or
Will it
even,
burn?
That's like when you go into like a group setting that people are trying to accomplish something or have a conversation. You're like, let's throw this in there,
Throw
this
the
weird,
curveball.
crazy curveball, and see if this spices it up.
Yes.
Or what?
Yeah, actually, though.
But I do that when I'm coaching CrossFit too. Like sometimes I make them tell me how to do the move, and then they like. I feel like they're actually listening.
Nice.
Or do you like throw in a dance move here and there?
Ooh. Oh, but that's nice.
That is huge, though. Like
Yeah.
you don't entirely know something unless you can teach it.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what
And
they
the
say.
look on people's faces when I'm like, okay, what's something I normally say for this squat? They all get so nervous, but they know.
Like a kid in school,
Yeah.
we never lose that.
Yeah.
Stop in your track.
yeah.
And
Don't
you
pick
use,
on me.
use the word quiz, and they're all like,
Oh.
I didn't raise my hand.
Oh no.
yeah. So that's fun.
What about you?
For what? I already
How
said
do
I
you-
like to go.
How do you put out the fire?
Ooh, water. Straight up, just. I will sacrifice my bottle of water just to get it done.
So you don't want to be the kid that starts the whole.
Right. I don't want to get in
Fire.
trouble. I don't want to cause a fire ban. Don't want to burn down a mountain.
I like it. I like Mike kind of touched on this a little bit. Put as much in the, have as much or as big a fire that you need that to last.
Yes,
As
and
long
then
as you're
just
gonna-
let it go.
Yes, and then let it.
Yes.
So that would be mine, to just kind of let it.
Let it
So
fade.
you said earlier you like starting fires a lot.
Love it.
Do you like starting projects, but you don't like
Yes.
to finish them?
Yes. Oh my gosh, so much.
I knew where you were going.
He is the starter.
I absolutely
of-
love starting.
Go ahead.
I love the process of figuring it out. But then the finish is like, that's why I hope that this one brings it home a lot.
I sometimes in the finisher, but a lot of the things like the mudding on our wall, he's the starter for that, and it's still in the starting stage.
But I will get it done.
Yes, we
Like,
know that we.
It's there. That's just one of the things I do at work. So it's like that's a slow process for me when I'm doing it at work and then I come home to go
I have
do
to do more of it.
it. Yeah. But yes, that is totally
It's
true.
not necessarily a bad thing because you always see it and it reminds you like you started.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. Where is the starting? People a lot of people struggle with that starting. But if those people had like a sprinkle of like what I do, those people are probably more finishers because they
Then
like
they
to
go.
Yeah, then they would just
Right.
it'd be good. But I just need a little sprinkle of of the
finish.
Yeah.
How can you get that, you think? Like, how can people that don't start, and, what's a good tip for that?
Oh.
Because you always hear just start, but it's like, how do you just start if you don't?
Right.
If you don't
Oh,
want
okay.
to.
Yeah,
Or
since I'm like
scared
a
to.
starter, that's a good thought for me. I just, it's like go, like start moving and whatever it is, whatever you think, start with that, and then do your research based on that. if it's something like super complicated, do a little research, try that little thing first, and then, keep it rolling from there.
Or just like 1 minute a day. Do something headed towards that.
Yeah.
Even just like thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it is like just like actually like go, like just do it. Like there's not really, more than that for starting.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be long, like Cal said. 1 minute.
It's like a hurdle, and I think it's a hurdle in the mind more than anything. Like people are saying to themselves that, they're saying to themselves that it has to be perfect. It has to be this before I can start. I don't want to start it because there's all this stuff. But yeah. So what, as a finisher, who you're
raise your hand if you're a finisher.
Yeah. Do you guys think that?
I feel like you're the biggest finisher of the crew.
Yeah, I just like don't like things unfinished. It just like gives me
anxiety.
Yeah. Like, why would you start the laundry and not finish it?
Okay.
But like, I like to see the end result. I feel like I've always been like know what it
why
looks
is it
like
worth
at the end.
Yeah.
Or what are we even doing this for then if we're not finishing it?
You're the catalyst in a lot of things. You like are the accelerator.
Yeah.
So you get it going, and you also get it to the end too.
Right. Because I think he's a good starter, but then like is such a big dreamer that we don't know how to
get to that.
I don't know what the end is.
Get to the end.
Because the end just kind of keeps growing.
Yeah.
So how do you finish if there is no finish?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
It's weird.
You hang out with Dan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What are your thoughts then for finishing? Like what are some things that people who are starters?
Yeah. How do you finish?
Yeah. How do you go about finishing? Say like, I mean, I know how to finish projects and stuff, but like, what are we talking here? What would be a good example for something that you would need to finish?
Well, just like our basement.
Okay.
In my head, I like to make sure things are nice and clean, and that's what prevents me from finishing a lot of things. It's that's like perfectionist type stuff. But at the end, like, who is the end audience?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
because you're in it, you see everything, but not everybody's going to see anything anyway.
Right.
They're going to say, wow, this is nice.
They're
like,
not gonna
remember
see
what's important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember your audience.
Yeah.
The audience is what it matters. You know, like, if it's somebody that does care that you made the extra detail of making sure the mud was perfect when you put the tape down and
like, you're not trying to
repainted
win
it,
some
Yeah.
construction trophy, you know?
Yeah. Well, like for your guys' instance, for the basement, you're gonna rent it out to someone. So usually renters don't necessarily care too much.
They just
about
want it to be decent.
And we gotta remember, like, there's probably gonna be a hole we have to patch again later.
Right.
Yeah.
So and that's hard for me.
So then, like, when we're doing construction for the architect, the designs are things like ours is the actual homeowner. So we do like put some beautiful time into everything.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, like, there's your audience there. Like, is this an art piece that someone wants to sit there and appreciate after?
That will get you more business.
Yeah.
And
that's where I put my pride. If there's something I'm doing, like, that's my name on it, and that's what, like, that matters a lot to me. But at the end, like, if you don't have any results, then you gotta have something.
Yeah. So
you can always.
Yeah. So maybe for like me here, like, I don't think we don't have people over that often. So
this is just a rental house. This is
it's gonna be a rental house. It's not gonna
I think since you do work in carpentry and you do make those extravagant pieces, you're very good at separating from your other
like
rental home work.
If or when we build something,
it's gonna be nice.
Yes.
And you probably want to finish it.
Yeah.
I'm really goal oriented, we say all the
Yes,
time. So
yes.
that's what helps me finish is like, okay, I wrote that down. That's what I'm getting at.
You're done.
Yeah.
So have goals. Have goals, know your audience.
And take on things that excite you enough to want to finish them.
Nice.
That's true.
If you're not excited about it, you're not going to want to finish.
If you're not excited about it, why waste your time?
Yeah. Life is too short.
I feel like that's
so
even
true.
with when you're building a fire. If you're not excited about it, you're just gonna like not get it started
Yeah.
probably
Just,
anyway.
you have to.
You're not
learn
going to
to-
stay long.
Yeah.
You're going to go to bed if you're camping.
enjoying the journey of it. It's
Yeah.
hard sometimes if you're really focusing on getting something done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like if you can't get this fire even out of the kindling stage.
Yes.
Mhm. What do you think, Mel?
Yeah.
You tell them.
You tell him. You tell him. She's staring at the mic too.
Yeah.
So basically, a fire is like the fire in your heart to get your find your why.
There it is.
Yes.
It all boils down to
the-
finding
your
what
why.
it is, and it really does too.
Mhm.
Like anything you're doing in life, it's like, why?
Ask
Why?
yourself.
Yeah.
Stop in your tracks. Why?
Why? And
That's
there's
so
this
good.
lighting of fire in me.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
There's a couple things in my life where I could eliminate. If we're being honest.
Yeah.
When I stop in my tracks, they are not part of the why.
Mhm.
Know your audience. Have your goals.
Be
Just go
Let's go.
And be excited.
Have
and
fun.
Stuff. Yeah.
and have
Stoke
fun while
it.
doing it.
So go have a fire
Stoke the
today.
fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
And think about how you make your fire
Yeah.
and how it relates.
It's all fun and games.
It's all fun and games until someone
someone
loses
loses
their
a
wiener. Hey everyone, nope. When it's scripted, it's tough, man. This has been Adventure on Purpose.
What's your purpose? Oh, I like it.
Oh, nice.
What's your adventure?
I like that a lot.
Do that again.
Did you?
You ready?
I'm excited. Do that again.
Say it again. Oh no. What's your purpose?
Do we answer?
No, she's saying it too.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Like, see ya.
See ya.